Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it is Frank Cordova. It's Wednesday night, and you definitely know what that means. No, it is not Dynamite. It is not Rampage. It is definitely not Dark. But it is the merchandise presentation from Shop AEW. If you guys remember, earlier in September, AEW did a promotion for discounts on Shop AEW. I decided to take advantage of that opportunity and also dedicate this purchase to the wrestlers that did a cameo for me prior to All Out. Granted, I couldn't get everyone's merchandise, but I managed to get the merchandise that I could. And while we're on All Out, I have to say that was a mind-blowing event. It was worthwhile. I mean, we had the debuts of Ruby Soho, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole, baby. We also saw the debut match of CM Punk and Paul White. Hey, I mean, what can I ask for? And let me just say that I hope Full Gear can live up to the hype. And with that said, I'd like to get this merchandise presentation underway. So we'll get right to it. And let me just say that in the email, I was informed that due to the short staffing and high demand, that I may receive my merchandise later than expected, which is totally fine and totally understandable. I got it when I got it. It's here. Then I have to say the wait was worthwhile. And with that said, I will get this presentation underway. And if you guys remember in my first video presentation, I had presented the DMD t-shirt. Dr. Britt Baker, she is doing a spectacular job as women's champion. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, she's doing a spectacular job. And keep it going. And speaking of Dr. Britt Baker, the merchandise that I had purchased was her opponent, Chris Statlander. And in her cameo, she had stated that had she won the women's championship and had to give the Doctor a rematch in St. Louis, she would do it in a cage match. Well, the choices were Blood and Guts, Stadium Stampede, or Arcade Anarchy. She would go with Blood and Guts, but hopefully it could be a one-on-one singles match she would want. Unfortunately, she fell short to the lockjaw. But I do hope she gets a rematch down the line. She is a great in-ring performer. She's young, and I think she is the future of the women's division. So I wish the best of luck, and thank you, Chris Statlander, for doing a cameo for me. And I have to say, great match. And speaking of women's championship, another female wrestler that had stated that when she wins the women's championship, she told me about her first opponent she'd want. And I'm talking about super bad Penelope Ford. First and foremost, thank you for the cameo. And I'm glad you agreed that you are a future women's champion in AEW. And the first title defense that you'd want is Hikaru Shida to avenge a previous loss. So I wish you the best of luck going forward, and I hope she becomes a women's champion within the next year or so. And once again, thank you for your cameo. And lastly, here's one that is familiar with Penelope Ford. In fact, she is her tag team partner, the Bunny. And thank you again for doing a cameo for me. And she stated when AEW decides to do a blood and guts match for the female division, she would like Penelope Ford, Nyla Rose, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel as her partners for that match. So I hope AEW expands that match within the women's division. And that is all the merchandise that I purchased. But I would like to give a shout out to Anthony Ogogo, Sammy Guevara, Thunder Rosa, and especially to Serena Deeb. She took the time to do a cameo for me on her 35th birthday, and I feel so bad I didn't get her merchandise. But next time, definitely next time, I will get a merchandise of Serena Deeb. And I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, staying healthy. Thank you for visiting my channel. Please like, subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your family. And thank you guys for being there for me. Have a good night, everybody.